السلام عليكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. I'm going to start with a question, and it's a question about you. Which of you in this room would tell me, if I asked you the question, put your hand up if you believe that you are from what you would consider a conservative household? Put your hand up. I want to see a show of hands, okay? If you're from a conservative household, put your hand up. Because me, personally, I come from a very conservative household. My granddads from one side are shuyukh, the other side are like sayyids and ulama, and like that's just all the eyes can see is that. So when I was growing up, I used to ask my dad questions. I used to be curious. I'm an engineer. I like to understand how things work. And I used to ask my dad questions all the time. And my dad, instead of giving me an answer to those questions, he used to give me a hadith. And I was like 12. Like, I don't want a hadith. Like, explain it to me. What do you mean? And he used to give me another hadith to explain what he meant. And I'm like, this just isn't working. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand these hadiths. They're too deep for my liking, and I just don't understand. When I was later on in life, 21, in university, I joined an American football team. All right, I know American football doesn't get played much in the UK, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to step outside my comfort zone. I'm going to join an American football team. In that team, I met people from all over the world. But there was one guy that completely changed the trajectory of my life. It was a guy called Lake, mixed race brother, okay? And he once sat me down, and we were sat down in the dorms of accommodation, and we were having like the deepest conversation I think I had ever had up until that point in my life. And he was talking to me about his perspectives on life, energy, the universe, how things work, how karma works, how his mind affects his actions and his habits and his life. He was telling me these deep secrets, what it felt like of the world, and how he's literally able to shape the world just by the power of his mind. And I had never in my life heard anybody talk about something with so much passion and interest, and I was intrigued. I was like to him, Lake, bro, where did you find this information? Where did you find this stuff? Tell me, I want to know. Tell me where you found this information, because it's fascinating. And he said, bro, there's a book. The book is called The User Guide to Balance. So I go and I order that book. It comes next day. And then I open it and I'm sat there, and on the front cover of this book, there's a guy that's sat there meditating and his chakras are getting unlocked. And I sat there in the hall of my living room, and my dad was watching me thinking, oh my God, my son is lost. But within that book, something happened. I started to understand the world in a way that I had never understood before, but there was a moment where life hit me, where I turned the page and I looked, and the way that this page would work, it would have text, and right in the middle, there are these little sayings and quotation marks. And one of those sayings, I looked at it and I thought, hold on, that seems familiar. I look down and I see Ali ibn Abi Talib. And I think, wow. What's Imam Ali's name got to do with a book about Buddhism and chakras? But the thing is, here's the question I'm going to ask. That book completely changed my life and actually full circle brought me back to my faith a lot deeper, because it explained what these hadith meant in like a deeper way. But one of the questions that I want to actually define to you today, okay, is what's the definition of leadership? What does leadership actually mean? You see, when you think about leadership, let me give you a little story to bring it to life. Imagine I had a group of kids and I said, look, we're on a school trip, I am your leader. And I'm going to take you, and we're going to go, and you're all going to stay with me. And the moment I start marching off to lead these kids, every single one of them runs off in a different direction. Am I actually leading them? The only way you lead is if the people that you're leading choose to follow you. You can't self-proclaim leadership. You can't say, I'm a leader, and then just go off in a direction. No one can tell you you're a leader. The only people who can tell you you're a leader is the people who every step you take, they place their foot exactly where you stepped. That is what leadership means. So when we think about Imam Hussein told people come, allow me to be your leader. And what did they do in those letters? You tell me. What did they write in those letters? Did they say yes or no? Yes. You're our leader. We'll follow you. They wrote the letters, yes, but what happened to their feet? Did they step after him in every step? Or did they do what the school kids done and ran in different directions? You see, leadership is about actually the person who you've told that that's going to be my leader. Do you actually follow in their footsteps? Or is it just words? The only way they can actually be your leader is if you actually place one foot after the other. But you see, the thing about this definition of the word leader is it seems so large, like leader. But actually, leadership is a lot more subtle than that. And we're going to do a mental exercise right now. 1 minute, I'm going to do a quick mental exercise with every single one of you in this room. I want you to close your eyes, every single one of you right now. I just got told that we only have 4 minutes, so let's be quick. Close your eyes, and I want you to think about the 5 people in your life who you spend the most amount of time with. 5 people. Who do you spend the most amount of time with? And I want you to think for a moment of those people. Imagine them, picture them in your brain. Picture their faces in your brain. And I want you to fast forward. Where did these people end up? Did they have successful, amazing, loving lives with people who enrich them? Or actually they're kind of stuck where they are, and fast forward 20 years, they're probably going to be exactly where they found them. Open your eyes. Whatever you saw in the future of those people is your future. If you take the average of those 5, that is you. That is how it works, because that is leadership. You see, you get led every single day in your life. Every single day, someone does something, or someone talks in a certain way, or says a certain word, which will lead you. On the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that there are people who stand there about to go into hell, going, why did I let those friends be my friends? Why did those people lead me? That's leadership. What that means is, not only are you getting led every day, but you are also leading. So you have a choice to be a leader, and you will also get led. It's beautiful. You every day can choose to be a leader also, okay? Now, let me tell you something. Those people that are in your circle, right? What if I told you you can replace one of them? What if you could take one of those out and replace them with somebody else? You can. You know how you do that? What was I doing in my living room when my dad was thinking, khalas, rah al-walad, that's it, he's gone, I've lost him. What was I doing? Reading. Reading. Think about the most successful person in your own terms. Think about them. If they've written a book, those 5 people that I told you to picture in your mind, you can replace one of them like this. You can literally place the most successful people in your own definition. If they've written a book, go find their thoughts, their thinking. They can become part of those 5 people that will lead you. So if you had to choose who you wanted to position in one of those 5 hefty spots, right? You only get 5 of them. And you better choose who you're going to put there. Who would be best to place? Who would be best to put in those positions? Why not put the best of creation in those positions? Why not put people that can truly change your life and were sent on earth to change your life? These were people that were asked to lead by who? They were asked to lead by Allah. They were told, look, your footsteps are so beautiful that I want to tell the people, go, every footstep you see, go and place your foot where you found their foot. There was one man in my family who was kind of notoriously the very successful one. Okay, he was known to be like the guy who made it, yeah, from my family, one of my uncles. And this guy, I remember one time, I was like 15, 13, something like that, years old. He literally sat us, all the boys down in our family. He sat us down, he's like, look, boys, I'm going to only give you guys one piece of advice and one piece of advice only. And we're like, what? Everyone was like, yes, this guy's rich. What's he going to say? Okay? Everyone wants to learn. What's he going to say? And we're thinking, you know, get your notes out. He's going to give us some mad advice. He sat us down. He said, Shabab, I'm going to give you one piece of advice. Every single day, read Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. And we're like, huh? I thought you were going to give me like the 5 fastest ways to start. What? Makarim al-Akhlaq? What do you mean? He's like, read Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. You see, there's a very interesting hadith that says, if the people found out about the beauty of our words, they'd follow us. If only we found out about the beauty of the words of the Ahlul Bayt, we would choose to follow. And that dua makarim al-akhlaq, the beautiful thing about that dua is dua makarim al-akhlaq gives you the best of this life and it gives you the next of the akhirah. Literally, if I'm going to give you guys one thing to do today, I'm only going to give you guys one thing to do. I could have given you 3 or 5, I'm only going to give you one. If you find a moment in your life, go and read Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. Because in Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, whatever you have, whatever beauty that you have in you, use that beauty to shape me in whatever you want me to be. Whatever you want me to be, allow me to be that. And then one of the most beautiful verses in there says, look, allow me, through you, to become the person who, as I lay footsteps down, the people around me in life go, yo, what's that guy doing? I'm going to follow him. You literally ask Allah to, with His own power, with His own beauty, to allow you to become a leader in society and to craft you into somebody who can be an exemplar for the world. Why not? Why not? You get one life. Why not be an example for people? Why not be so good that people say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. And they point at you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can turn you into that person. Even if you aren't that person today, Allah can turn you into that person. And Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, from my experience, has truly been, what do they call that? A chisel, right? It chisels you. It literally chisels you into something unrecognizable. And that's all I'm going to leave you with today. Thank you so much, and inshallah, may God bless you all.